Our last hope, Nero, was completely useless.
Hey! Get Nero out of here! This was a bad move! Nero, go! You're just dead weight! That bastard called me dead weight! I didn't come all this way for nothing!
This is power. The Devil Sword Sparta no longer serves a purpose. I have plans for the both of you. You will exist to give me strength. How fortunate to serve such divine purpose.
All right, enough's enough. Can't let a boy do a man's job.
Hey, wait. I'm not done talking yet.
Okay, you get some rest. By the way, I guess I owe you one.
Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to Let's Play Mission 11 of Devil May Cry 5, Mission 11 being Reason. Remember when V first strolled into Devil May Cry and convinced Dante to come along with his mission? He said that the demon was his reason for fighting. So it seems like we're actually going to get something pretty substantial in terms of an answer in this episode. But if you have not recently enjoyed a lobotomy, you already know who this antagonist is. Because they could not possibly wrap their fists with more ham. They could not possibly put it on the nose any more than they already have. But hey, we don't know. It could be that it really is Vernon, the Terror. Maybe Vernon was the secret reason for fighting all along. Who knows? That fucking cutscene. That one was the one that's just, it's too much! Anyway! Ooh, this is pretty good for such a Spartan encounter. With just a couple of vines, a couple of prides, and one big boy with many armors. Whose name I have forgotten by this point. Because he is maybe the least memorable enemy? Today we're going to talk about something that will not be at all controversial, I trust. And that's Ruben Langdon, the voice of Dante. Fun fact, Ruben Langdon was shot at in Guatemala while doing something for the game. I think he was doing some filming for a live-action cutscene, which we might take a look at some of those during a bonus episode or an intermission. That's not why I bring him up, though. Because, you know, another fun fact about him, he's a fucking abhorrent person. Just a real juicy shitheel. And unfortunately, I only learned about that recently. So he supports the Vic Mignogna? Oh god, I really can't remember his name. The guy who voices Brawley, famously. Who got ousted this year from a lot of industry events and jobs. Funimation cut ties with him. Rooster Teeth, I think they were planning on or in the middle of working with him for one of their shows, and then all of this shit came out and they were like, no, we don't need that. Yeah, Ruben Langdon is a big supporter of that dude. I should say that the reason that, you know, Funimation and Rooster Teeth and all these companies cut ties with this man that Ruben Langdon was going to bat for is over allegations of harassment, homophobia, and anti-Semitism from the dude. Like, long-standing accusations of that. Langdon himself... Oh, it's gonna be tough if I don't keep both of these dudes... Or if I don't keep one of them off screen. Because I don't want him rolling up while I'm trying to combo down the other one. There we go. Langdon himself has shit-talked Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement in the past, and is a promoter of the QAnon conspiracy, where some random dude who people believe for no fucking reason claimed high-ranking Democrats were running a child sex trafficking operation out of a pizza place in, I think it was DC. Which, by the way, led to some lunatics shooting that place up. This is the type of person, or the type of people that Langdon hitches his wagon to, and that, Also a defender of 8chan, so I don't know, maybe fuck that guy. Like, completely. I would like him to get gone from voicing Dante in the future, knowing what I know now. Because while he's been the voice of Dante for a long-ass time, he is also not the first voice of Dante. And also, tenure or tradition is not a good, or attachment for that matter, is not a good reason to preserve keeping such a piece of shit around. As an aside, there's some problematic sides to DMC5 aside from Langdon. That's well worth acknowledging, like how Morrison's voice actor is a dude whose YouTube channel is, or maybe was, if the videos were taken down or scrubbed, which I have to assume one of those two things has to have happened by this point. I'm assuming scrubbed because YouTube doesn't do shit about, you know, the contingent of neo-Nazis and alt-right and just generally really fucking awful people. By the way, if we come up here after lowering that side of the building by destroying the vines, we'll find our secret mission for the mission, and it's just to maintain an S rank, which is actually a really easy one to do. One of the easier secret missions for sure. You can really focus more on avoidance in this one than anything, because they start you out on an S. You just have to make sure it never falls lower than that. And then you can always build an even bigger buffer by just getting in your pot shots when you can, a lot of gunshots, a lot of, you know, separating an enemy from the pack. And always trying to do your best to keep the others off screen to curb a lot of their aggression. Other than that, it's, what, like 40, 45 seconds of this? Really not hard whatsoever. The easiest way to get tripped up is just to take a hit from one of the enemies. Just taking damage, because that will lower your rank by 2. So unless... if you are on anything lower than SSS when you take the hit, you are screwed if you take a hit. So just focus on avoiding that. Where was I at? Yeah, there was Morrison's voice actor. Yeah, his whole channel was just a shrine to, like, racism and transphobia. And then there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about, which is Subhuman. Sorry about that. There was a whole ass recording snafu. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the other recording suddenly died. Which is a shame because the rest of the mission went really, really well. And I don't have that footage. The bigger problem with losing that footage, aside from forgetting where I left off talking about, I think around here I should have been talking about Subhuman. Yeah, okay, yeah. Remember where I was at for that. I'm replaying the mission, by the way. The other big problem is that What? I didn't do a dry run through this mission, so all of the blue orbs and the purple orb that was in here, and one other really cool secret, I just got while doing the previous recording. And now, can't exactly see all that. Like, you can't see that there used to be a blue orb here. In this trap room, where you end up having to fight. Oh, this is gonna work out. Oh no! The real impact didn't go off. Okay. This trap room where you end up having to fight the two nobodies in a small space, which it can get rather hectic with just the two of these. So I'm not gonna pick up with that subhuman thought for a second until I hope he doesn't get up in the middle of this. Oh no, that will work out even better because I think the end of that Dance Macabre flipped the other one. Nobodies are fun, albeit really challenging enemies. They really love lobbing those eyeballs that are growing out their backs around to use as bombs. They're very hard to stagger and juggle like this. Make the most out of that. I would not say that as making the most out of that, actually. But, come on. Yeah. Good. Good. Not quite as good as my other fight from the lost recording, but blah. We will just have to continue living in Salt Mountain. Alright, so Subhuman is Dante's theme in this game. I keep meaning to get the soundtrack DLC thing so I can just throw Lock and Load on or whatever old school song it plays. You can replace the theme. I would have anyway, for the same reason that Subhuman got so much negative feedback when it debuted, which is that the song is fucking awful. It's terrible. And then on top of all the bad publicity of the song being bad, it got much worse because allegations came out that the lead singer of the band that did Subhuman, the first recording, sexually assaulted a teenager. Yeah. I think they got a new band to re-record it, and that's good for so many reasons. Like, the new version is admittedly better, but more importantly, it's baggage-free. It's not supporting a sex predator, so that's nice at least. It's still not a good song. Alright, the Helyadekas. These should look and animate really familiarly. Because what they did here is kind of break up the DMC Devil May Cry Dream Runners into two enemies. And this is one of them. The design of the enemy itself and the way it teleports around, very, very similar to the Dream Runners. And then other elements of the Dream Runner moveset they're used for another enemy type later. But these things, they kick ass. They love to keep away. They love to attack you from afar. And with them being so mobile and so elusive, it tempts you into just ignoring them and taking the ads out first. The problem is, it's also an ad spawner. So if you don't confront that problem, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna deal with the ads, there's always gonna be more ads. Fucking love that enemy. It's a really good one.
Up we go, I suppose.
And these,
Like the fastest route?
these problematic elements of the game are just an extra shame.
Well, that's gonna collapse.
Not just for the obvious moral reasons, but you notice I've had a real dearth of things to criticize about this game. There has not been a lot of that going on, and it's not for lack of like, oh, I'm just glossing over all the bad stuff. No, there's just generally not a lot worth criticizing in DMC5. It's so so close to perfect. And then there's just this insane confluence of morally really repugnant things that are not really Capcom's fault for the most part. They deserve a lot of flack for Morrison and not doing any background into his voice actor, because once you look at all, it becomes really apparent how repugnant he is. The Ruben Langdon stuff, I think, came out well after any of his stuff was recorded and well after the game went gold. Some of it anyway, like the red flags that would make you generally want to dig a little bit deeper to really find out what a piece of work he is. Come on. I guess that wasn't as apparent. And they did a good job responding to everything about Subhuman and that whole can of worms. It's just a shame, like, that has to be the point of criticism. That has to be a discussion at all. That has to be a thing to be acknowledged. But, hey, it is. Because it's real gross, and it is, like it or not, baked into the game. It's a part of the game and its development and the history of the development and all of that. And that's a real bummer. It's a real bummer for what is otherwise a purely blissful-ass, joyful, fun game. I'm really glad I got the second hit of Pop Shredder before it popped too far into the air. Cool, I did get my Triple S back after I took a hit on these bats. I was worried that wouldn't happen, because it was going so well up until those final two. That dropped all the way back down to B. I will say, that fight actually went better than the first recording. I think that was the only the only fight in this mission on the first recording that did not end with the Triple S. But now I am remembering something, and I may have accidentally shown it in that fight. But I have to backtrack for something real quick. It's something that I got in the initial recording and then just forgot about here. Because it's something that is designed to be very easily missable. It's back where we started knocking the buildings down to navigate around. And close, I want to say, to where we fought the nobodies and got the what would have been the blue orb. It was just a conglomeration of red orbs for us. Here, in this room, after you shift some of the landscape around, right where that globe we just smashed is where Lady drops Kalina Ann. It's a secret weapon pickup. You would normally get Kalina Ann later in the game, but you can just happen to find it here. And it's got a lot of the same stuff that you know and love from 3, including Hysteric. Doesn't have Lady's full moveset from 4 Special Edition, because Dante is not as much of an expert with Kalina Ann as Lady is. Now that we've picked that up, I think we can get back on track up here. This is that little clock tower arena where we just fought all the Angelos, or this domed arena. It's not a dome. I don't know why I think of it that way. It's because the floor looks like a dome upside down. Like a kind of a bowl shape.
Just woke up from a long ass nap.
We got a couple of Glyphod roots spawning behind us, but that's no problem. I didn't mean to do that. I was hitting A to jump up past this, because there's not really anything that I want right now. We could upgrade Kalina Ann, which we technically just got, but I'm not going to be using it much on this fight, and we only have the boss of the level left. DMC5, I've become really impressed with its level design, which people have called weak, but the secrets are so good in this one. Especially V's and, like, that Kalina Ann one.
Is it Halloween already? That costume looks a little big. I thought you had better taste than that. How about I take it in a little?
This is Cavaliere Angelo, the knight who hopped off the back of the Garian steed. Finally resolving that, and this is a dope one-on-one duel. And it only happens once, which is sort of a bummer in the way that you only fighting Credo in 4 once was. But there are so many good, unique fights in 5 that it's fine. Ooh, I did not perfect parry a single one of those. There we go. Nope. There we go. You can even hear the difference in the sound effect between an imperfect parry that'll take a little bit of your DT and a perfect one. Oh, this is gonna be bad for him. Distort. Yeah. I think I could have milked more damage out of that. I don't think I got the full distortion. Just only part of it. I'm gonna get a couple hits in here and back up. You can hit him out of this. I wasn't confident.
How scary you are when you're
Oh, we're maxed out. Shit. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this. Okay, we'll do... I was hoping to get the perfect release. The perfect in this, the perfect release for Royal Guard in 5 is one of the strongest game feels Devil May Cry has ever had. It's ridiculous. No way. Nope. You got way away there. And we're gonna lose our triple S, inevitably. Oh. Gunslinger and Ebony and Ivory can do a lot to maintain that, but we fucked up and got struck by lightning. And hit with a follow-up strike. Ah. That's a real anticlimactic way to finish this. That's pretty good, though. Oh, the clashes, though. Oh. Okay, we brought the style back at the end.
Whoa, looks like I took in a little too much. You okay?
I've been better. Dante, that demon is...
Don't even think about it. Just rest. Dante! Take care of Trish for me. Dante, wait!
Dante's left.
Yes.
don't think he can win.
What was that demon, V? Where did it come from? Urizen is not a demon. I know that for a fact because I'm from the underworld. My god. What are you then?
It doesn't matter. I'm a shadow of my former self who lost everything. I will tell you the story of my birth.
Alright, that's gonna do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Ring the bell, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff in the description, all that doobly-doo stuff. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.